We'll call the meeting to order. This is the Michigan City Port Authority Board of Directors meeting on Monday, August the 15th. Our first order of business will be to approve or correct the minutes of the August 1st meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Have a motion second to approve the minutes as they have been published. Any questions or comments? Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It's unanimous. The minutes are approved. We have one guest. Do you have anything you'd like to say? You have an opportunity later. You change your mind. Maybe have the harbor master's report, Mr. Frank.
Sure. Since last time, we had the Super Boat Race weekend. It was very busy, a lot of people, a lot of boats. Mary Ann will talk a little bit about some overnight rental related to that. They ended up with 20 racers, and they had 2 races, and the weather was really good, and there were a lot of people on the beach. I haven't got a number or an estimated number from Jack yet at the Tourism Bureau, but I expect they'll give us some info on that when they have it all put together. This past weekend was the boat show. As you probably noticed, it was a little smaller than last year, though in talking to Mr. Ralston today, who is the director over there, he said the boat dealers seemed very happy, and I know that they did sell a couple of their bigger boats over there. So he seemed to think overall the show went pretty well, and they're currently taking it down right now. Also over the weekend was the Perfection Sailboat Race, and they didn't have any trouble getting in or out and had a nice time over at Millennium Plaza. So all in all, the last 2 weekend events went really well. We always have a few little traffic things here and there, but nothing really to get excited about. So unless anybody has any questions, I'll let it go at that.
You know, have any idea how many sailboats came in for one race?
I counted,
About 40.
yeah, I counted less than 20,
Okay.
but I don't know if they were all in when I counted.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, Mrs. Palicki, may we have your report, please?
Here's a report on the Grand Prix weekend. In fuel sales, we had $16,108.16, which is a little over 4,800 gallons of fuel. And the diesel was $4,588.88, and it's around 1,770 gallons. Our overnight rentals were $10,752.95. A lot of these people came from Wednesday night and didn't leave till Monday. So we had a really good weekend.
Understand you were sold out?
We were sold out. Every slip that we had available was rented. On our new customer listing, that we have 5 additional customers since the last board meeting. And I know we did get one 60-foot slip from the boat show and bought a boat. But I was told that somebody that's already in the marina bought it. You know, because they're gonna stay the rest of the year, and then they'll be going into our 60-foot slips. And here is our monthly rentals. Again, that so far this year, in monthly rentals, all the marina, we've taken in $18,160.
Seems Break Point is up a little bit from last year. Can you confirm that, the number over there? Seems like there's a lot there.
Yeah, there's about, well, last time I seen there was like 25 boats there. As the weather gets hotter, you get more. So cooler here, they don't.
Generally, Break Point's all monthly.
Yeah, it's all monthly rentals. And in the occupancy, our revenue on the back is the normal and on the front or on the back. You can see how much we've taken in for boats stored here on trailers, and the summer storage for the bigger boats that go by the foot, and the rates of what they are. Is another $39,000. We're over there, we're almost 40.
Now, according to your report, occupancy report, Forest Park is 88% rented. And the Trail Creek Marina, all categories combined, is 79%. Which is, that's up from last year.
Yeah, that's really good, because every marina closes for a year. It takes a few years to build it back up again. And our next board meeting is 4 weeks out, it'll be September 12th, because of the Labor Day. And that's all I got.
Lori, you have questions, Mrs. Blicky? I figure someday somebody's gonna ask Mary Ann some really hard questions. You're letting her off easy.
I would have one more thing I'd like to say, that the employees over the last 2 weeks have really had to step it up, especially the other girls in the office, because when you go from that boat race right into boat show week, it's times you don't get any days off, you just keep going. So, I just wanted to tell them all thank you.
I think your boat show booth was nice this year, and quite a few people have stopped by. I hope it continued that way through the rest of the show. I was pleased.
We had a lot of people stop by and take the sheets and that.
Boy,
I had a few people stop me while I was walking through the show and really liked the new wall that we have put up and also the flowers behind it. I'm not sure what they are, but they're really, really nice.
you know, I wonder what they are too, Dan.
Oh.
I've never seen those before.
It's like a amethyst or something.
Planted from seed, I was told, and I just tried to tell as much as I could, but went by.
Anyhow, creativity is really pleasant and surprising. If there's nothing else, then for Mrs. Palicki, Mr. Garrett, may we have the budget and financial report, please?
Sure can. It's a little lengthy list, but, and the number seems large, but once I go through a couple of weeks, they don't make a lot more sense, so, the second item on the, from the top of the list is payroll entry for $9,914.17. And then if you go, 3 down from there, you have, one NIPSCO bill for $6,598.65, and then go 2 more down, and there's another one for $8,354.90. And then following one below that is our water and sanitation for $4,885.40. And then just a little over halfway through, from Rackham Service Corp for fuel for resale is $81,912.02. So if you add those 5 items, you're at $111,665.14 of the $125,761.89, which is $14,000. Which, if you spread those out, there's nothing really large in there. So, with that said, if there are no questions, I would make a motion that we pay our bills at 3 minutes.
We have a motion to pay the bills. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Muir. Questions?
We have 2 NIPSCO bills. You know why we have 2 NIPSCO bills?
15 minutes.
Just happens to be over. Okay. Not like we didn't pay a bill.
No.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mary Ann, this porta potty thing here, $540, is that a single payment for a week or a month? For a month?
For 2.
For 2 porta potties.
4 cleanings a week.
So that'll be a total of how many months?
4 months.
4 months?
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Other questions or comments?
I have a question. The NIPSCO fees, is that about your range for this time of the year? Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor of the motion to pay our bills as they have been presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Same sign for opposed? Hearing none, we pay our bills. Anything else, Mr. Garrett?
That is all.
For your work. Mr. Manor, claims, insurance, and park liaison.
I have nothing for claims and insurance, but I have a few things about the park board meeting that I attended. There was a proposal that was made to redevelopment commission. And that proposal was for the cost of redoing all of our WPA stuff. I don't know the outcome of that proposal. I imagine the redevelopment commission had a vote on that and agreed to pay for it, and so forth and so on. So I don't know where that stands right now, but there was a proposal made to them, so in the future, we'll probably find out, if it's gonna happen and when it's gonna happen. They're pretty hot on that, so. But when the park board rents out places, things like the picnic shelters and the halls for weddings and things like that, I don't think they've ever charged a maintenance fee in part of the rental fee for that. They're considering charging a maintenance fee, but they tabled it until the next meeting until they can look into it further. But that's a fee that would be added onto the rentals that people don't usually pay if they okay. For anybody that's interested in renting anything. What else do I have here? Jeremy made a report to their board. They got a $12,000 Mattal grant, the steel mill out here, for life-saving equipment, for the park board to be able to put out life-saving equipment here. They haven't accepted that yet. They want to table that also because they want to investigate the possibility of generating some more money out of Mattal. So that's been tabled also. But I'm sure they'll get at least that much for life-saving equipment. I understand they've already agreed to or put some life rings out on by the pier.
Is it your understanding that a part of the placement of those rings will be on the lighthouse pier?
Yes. Yes. That's my understanding. And it has to do with some other things too. It has to do with.
And on that question, Bruce, and that your liaison over there, always in the past, when we attempted to do things like that, the Corps said no. And I just wonder if they've been in discussion with them.
That I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Because, Tim, I think
They have talked to the Corps,
they have.
and I believe the Corps has somewhat softened their position over the years on that.
Okay.
They won't do it on their own, but if the city wants to take it on, I think at this point they won't get in the way.
That's good news. That's good news.
This is a meeting that I attended on August the 3rd, and the following week from August the 3rd is when the two new lions were supposed to be brought to the zoo here. So I don't know if they have one in there or not, but they were supposed to be brought the week after this meeting here. I think that's just about it. Just the highlights of what went on.
Board, you have questions of Mr. Manor? Questions or comments? Nice report, Bruce, thank you. Mr. Ferguson, Master Planning Special Project Report.
Nothing at this time.
Mr. Messina, Board of Communications and Special Events.
Under special events, and I don't have numbers to give, but a week ago Friday, we had the disabled and handicapped boat ride. I didn't get a head count, and I'm still trying to get all that as to how many volunteer boats helped out, and actually how many adults and children disabled took the ride. So I don't have those numbers yet, but hopefully next meeting I'll have that and be able to report.
Were they able to get enough volunteers? I know you were talking about it.
Apparently so. I mean, most boats took out at least 2 trips, take a group out and bring them back and then take another group. But that's typical of every year.
Any other questions or comments for Mr. Messina? Thank you, Dan. In terms of port operations report, the only thing I had to say this evening had to do with the municipal about new terrace and plantings, and we've already had that discussion, but they're certainly attractive. Mrs. Mayor, advertising and public relations report, please.
The new rates were posted during the boat race. Boat show, during the boat show. They're also posted, the old and new rates are posted at the gas dock as well. And there's been a notice posted on the website stating that the new rates will be listed in September. During the award ceremony for the Super Boat race, the Super Boat International presented the Park Department and the City of Michigan City and the Port Authority with the plaque for their dedication and appreciation, toward this event, because it really does take a lot of parts to pull off an event like this each year and make sure everything, jives together. So this is the plaque for the Port Authority. It is very nice, and that's it.
Thank you. That's nice. Do you have anything else?
No, that's it.
Did you realize that when you came to the Port Authority, you were going to be in sales?
No, I didn't. And by the way, someone did comment about the flowers as well to me, and they asked if I knew what, and I said, no, I don't. So we are getting a lot of inquiries.
Thank you. Board, do you have any questions for Mrs. Green? If not, may we have the attorney's report?
Certainly. The board may recall at our last meeting, we did discuss the issue of Maurice Pierce. He was the gentleman that still owed a balance for a vote that he had left on Port Authority property. I'm pleased to report that he made a final payment today, clearing up his balance, and it's down to zero. He indicated to me when I spoke to him on the phone this morning that he had found a location for his boat. He is going to be making arrangements to remove his boat from Port Authority property. Now, he didn't give me a specific date. I'll follow up with him later this week to find out when that date is. Perhaps when he made the payment, he may have mentioned to you.
He just said that that'll be soon.
Yeah, that's what he told me, it's going to be soon. On the other gentleman, Mr. Groves, Richard Groves, who we had a judgment for about $4,600 for, and he is in Illinois. I am going to be in Illinois on Wednesday, so I'll just jump on over to Will County. That'll save the Port Authority a little bit of travel time. The documents are all prepared and ready to be filed, so I'll file those on Wednesday. And that will start the ball rolling on what we call proceedings supplemental. And those are the proceedings that are put in place under many states' laws for collecting on the judgment. Third and finally, I know in September the invitations to our slip holders are going to go out for renewing for the following year. And we wanted to update our slip rental agreement. I'm working on that. Some of our counterparts in Hammond and Portage, I believe, have switched over to a license as opposed to a lease. And the reason they've done that is if someone violates a license, say they're throwing wild parties and bothering other slip holders, it's much easier to terminate a license than it is to terminate a lease. So in the course of preparing for next season, I'm going to take a good hard look at what they have done to see if we might want to switch over to a license as opposed to a lease. And I hope to probably sometime next week, I hope early next week, I'll be able to submit something to the board for its consideration. I know the September 12th meeting is a little ways off, but I don't want to wait till the last minute. So perhaps what I would do is circulate something to the board so that you could all take a look at it, and we could have a discussion as to whether we want to stick with a lease agreement or a license agreement, and then we can discuss that at the September 12th meeting.
Joe, may I assume that before you make a board presentation, that you and the harbor master have spent adequate time together.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, and the other thing on the license, you know, the harbor master's policy and the board's policy is they don't want to frighten people with big contracts.
Right.
And you did a tremendous job on the winter storage contract. I've seen a sample of the license agreement that other marinas have. And Joe, that's many pages.
There it is, it is.
I just can't imagine that something that voluminous would be accepted by many of our voters.
I agree. And that's why what I would try to do is, even if we were to go the license route, I would try to get it into, as I did with the winter storage. So it's one page on the front, one page on the back. And I think with some creative lawyering and creative writing, I should be able to do that. Because a lot of what you see in those license agreements and lease agreements is for the benefit of the lawyers. And it's not so much for the benefit of the.
You know, it's just several pages of boilerplate.
Yeah, it is, exactly. And it can be condensed down almost to a sentence or two. And that's my goal. That's what I'm gonna try to do, to make this something that is user-friendly, friendly to our customers and friendly to the employees of the Port Authority who may have to answer questions about it if someone has a question. So that it's in plain and readable English.
Board, do you have questions of Arnie? And Joe, you feel that you and Tim will have your work done and ready to share with the board for their consideration at the September the 12th meeting?
I do.
Okay, all right. Then the board will have a meeting span to look the thing over and see what they think about it before the rest of the vote.
Yes.
Okay, anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Board, do you have questions? Do we have new business this evening? Yes.
I don't think this is new business. I forgot, I omitted something about the park board. They're also getting 2 wolves. For anybody's interest, 2 wolves.
Oh! Yeah, I read in the paper they had 2 cubs,
They've
and
already
they
got one.
also have a new pair of lions.
Okay. Was that in the paper? I don't get the
Yeah,
paper.
big picture, you missed it.
Well, see, they were supposed to get these the week after I went to the meeting. Evidently, they got them.
Okay. Any new business? Jess, do you have anything you'd like to say, address the board? Okay, then, that brings us to the bottom of our agenda, which says down there, adjournment.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion second to adjourn, we are adjourned. Thank you, board, appreciate your work. Good time.
Yeah, thank you.